Hello and welcome to Prateek Chess Videos.
Here the stress today we're going to see the game between Tal and Kirjazky. Well, this game was full of surprises and amazing sacrifices. So let's start the game. The game started e4, then e5, now knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. Wait, no, I don't want to sort theoretical bit here. Well, here idea is to play here. Wait, what? Mm-mm. Not bishop to c5 here. So see here firstly after bishop to b5. Yes, here it was played. Well, the idea is to play bishop a4 to b3. This is type of the maneuver, and now a6, bishop to a4, knight f6, attacking the e4. Now short castle, bishop e7, rook e1, and now b5 attacking the bishop. So now bishop to b3, and now short castle, c3, d5, e into d5, and guess what? We reached the martial attack. Very sharp variation in here. So after e into d5, here e4 was played, which is a type of a sideline. Here idea is to attack the f3 knight. So now d into c6, e into f3, and now d4. Now is d into f3, which is a dubious move. There will be bishop to d6, d4, and then knight h5 with an equal position. And if queen into f3, then bishop to g4, queen g3, and then bishop to d6 with a slightly better position for white. But here d4 was played after e into f3, and now bishop to d6. Now, well, this is the what opening is this going on? So this is c89 closed Ruy Lopez martial attack. And well, if f into g2, which is better for white, then queen f3 and then a5, and same way if after bishop to d6, see, so d4, bishop d6, now bishop to g5 is played, If g into f3, then knight h5, rook e4, and then queen to f6 with slightly better position for black. And if queen into f3, well, queen into f3 is a dubious move because rook e8 comes and then bishop to d2 and then bishop to g4 with a better position for white. So here that's why we should after here play bishop to g5. And now pause the video and think what should you play. Well, now bishop into s2 check. Now this is a decoy, classic decoy. So now king into s2 and knight to g4 check. This tactic is actually called the Greek gift. Here actually white is better. After king to g1, queen into g5. So yeah, here if we count the material, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Black has 6 pawns while we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pawns here on the board. Actually, black also has 7 pawns with this f3. But here white takes on f3. Now, why black did this was well. So, firstly, here we've got a threat here. If you don't do anything, then in this position, this queen into f7 is coming. Hold. Yeah, queen into f7 check is coming, and then rook into f7, rook e8. That not be nice for black. Demonstrate or yeah. So here queen into f7 check is the threat, and after rook into f7, rook e8 check, and if king to h8, then whoa, no, queen to g7, queen into f8, obviously, and that's a mate. So that's why here. Yes, because of queen into f7 and then rook e8. Uh, Black here played the move bishop to f5. Yeah, here bishop to f5. So idea is to play queen to h6 and then queen to s2 and bishop to f5 did the thing that it blocked the queen's ray so that the queen doesn't go on queen to f7 and then the thing we discussed. So yeah, that's why bishop to f5. And if you actually play your queen to h5 with the idea of defending and attacking, then queen to f4 comes and well, the game's lost for black because of the material advantage. So now bishop to f5 and a knight to d2, which is a good move. So after knight to d2, well, it is aiming for knight to e4, here deflection. Well, why is it such a good move? Because here if you play queen to d2, then it will come queen to f5 and then it will be bad. So Here, instead of queen into d2, here if queen to h5, so queen to h5 here, and instead of queen to h5, there's also rook f e8, and in the game it was played h5, and instead of knight d2, we can also play queen to g3, but that is a dubious move because of rook a e8 and then rook e1 and then rook to e2, which is an equal position. So here that's why instead of queen to g3, just knight to d2, and if queen to h5, which is a mistake, then queen to f4, which is not lost for white, it's lost for black. And after knight to d2, here rook f8 is better, knight to d2. So yeah, here in the game h5 was played. So we'll promote this variation firstly. Yeah, so f5, h5, sorry. Here, now knight to e4. Now it is actually officially lost. So now bishop into e4, rook into e4. If queen into e4, then queen to h4, queen to f4, and then g5, which is a better position for white. Now king h7. Well, a5 is actually better than king h7. So queen g3 and then a4 here. So after rook into e4, king to h7 actually was played in the game. But now bishop to c2 uh, with idea rook into g4, so king to h8, rook a e1, f5 attacking the rook on e4, rook e7 attacking the c7. So now if queen to f4, then queen into f4, rook into f4, and then rook f e8 with a better position for white. So here in the game, queen f4 was not played, rook e7, and now f4, which is a mistake. Here rook f6 is a better defense. Queen d3. If rook into c7, then queen to d2. Here still lost. But actually after queen g3, b4. Wait, queen g3 not in. Yeah, queen g3 b4. Yeah, this. So, but in the game, here rook e7 f4 was played, which is a mistake. So then d5 here, actually queen d3 here, a good move would be deadly because black is weak on the light squares. But anyways, d5, queen to h4. Well, trying to play queen to h2 check and then d6. Alright, white has strong attack here. So now queen h2 check. It looks an obvious move, but actually is a mistake. If rook a to d8, uh, well, rook a to d8 is better here. So now rook 7 is so if d into c7 obvious move, then queen has to check king f1 and then rook to d2, g3, rook into f2 check. That turn out very bad for white. So here that's why rook 7 e6 and then c into d6. So in the game here queen to h2, king to f1 and then queen to h4 hoping for h2 check. But now king to e2 and then rook a d8. Here c into d6. Here keep fighting in the position. C into d6. Now king to d1, knight into f2, king to d2 and then d5. So after king e2, rook a d8. Now pause the video and think what should you play. Now it was played rook to h1. Brilliant move. Well, now rook to h1, brilliant move here. White is clearly winning. The sacrifice now. Queen into h1. Here, if queen to g5, then queen to d3. So here, after rook h1, queen into h1, then queen e4. This is active counterplay. Knight to f6. This prevents queen at 7 check. Queen to g6, rook to g8. D into c7 and then rook df8. And then c8 is equal to queen, which is a good move, sacrificing the pawn on c7. Now, well, if here f3 check, then just g into f3. So in the game, rook into c8 was played. I'll promote here, yeah. So rook into c8, and now queen into f6. Brilliant move. Here's threatening mate with queen h6 check. So remove defender v. Yeah, we remove a defender. So now f3 check and then g into h3. White wants to mate with queen to h6. Into f3 is the wrong capture here because here rook g to f8 and then, well, it's just losing for white. And now if g into f6, then actually look at 7 mate. So that's gone the way. And if queen to g, here queen into g2 check also works, but we are only drawing here. But we can win the game after rook g8. So yeah, here Well, that's why here, instead of all of this here, and if queen into f3 here, it also seems logical, but it is also not so good. So queen h4, queen e4, queen into e7, queen into e7, and then rook g e8. This also is better for white. This also we can win, but it's complicated now. We could just win the game with yeah g into f3, and that's why g into f3 was played. So now rook c to e8 here. Well, it is pinning the rook so that rook h7 mate doesn't come. So now bishop to e4, good move. Well, unpinning the uh, king and then intending queen h6 check and mate. So now rook into e7 and then queen into e7. Well, this is an endgame king queen rook versus king queen bishop. Uh, Now queen to c1 and now queen to e5. And black must now prevent f4 uh, because well after f4 what happens actually? Yep, I think the king escapes. I don't know. Yeah, black must prevent or because then queen into h5 check will come with bad effects. So here that's why after queen to e5, queen into b2 check, we take a pawn, logical. King to f1, queen to c1 check. We go king g2, queen h6, and then yeah. So actually after king to b2, queen f1, this is still bad here. Queen into h5 is coming. So now queen to c1 check, king g2, queen h6, and now c7, rook f8, and then queen to f5. Brilliant move. This is decoy and promotion. And then, well, now g6, and now queen into f8 check, queen into f8, and then the final move of the game, bishop to b7. Good move. Well, the game's beauty, uh, the beauty here of this game, ranked in numbers, was 30 out of 36. Very, very instructive and amazing game. 30 out of 36. What a game. Magnificent play by Tal. Here, White was precise in the game here. There were 5 black mistakes. Yeah. So what was it? Yep, there were 5 black mistakes. Inaccuracies were 2 black and 3 white inaccuracies. And there were okay moves here. Like white played a lot of okay moves, 7, while black remained on 4. White played a lot of best moves in game, 4 best moves, 2 from black. White here played a one. White here played many strong moves and also 3 brilliant moves here. So now bishop into g6 here. Well, this is end of game. Bishop into g6 here perishes, due to, queen g8, king to h3, queen h8, queen c8 check, king. Now if queen into g6, then c8 is equal to queen check, king to g7, and then queen to c5 with a slightly better position. So that's why to c8 check, king to h4, and then queen into c7, here winning the game. So this was the game. Well, what were the lessons learned from this game? Here the lessons learned from this game were that even if it may look like you are under attack, here sometimes you don't need to think about defense. You can sometimes organize your own counter attack and then win like Tal did in style. So this was the game. I hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Thank you.